Hey kids, back from the store getting milk. Did you miss Dad? I miss me too. I think I owe an explanation or two, and a story or three. That's good soup. As many of you know, I was married kinda for a while. Yeah, that was a fucking mistake. Oh my god. Let's start with Utah, shall we? So, I want to start by saying I'm fine. Content's gonna continue. It may be delayed and intermittent because it just can't be my priority right now. But I'm not boring. Don't worry, I haven't stopped. I just haven't had the time. Well, some of you who've tuned in for some of the live streams that happened while I was in Utah will probably be aware. It's chilly. I was doing drugs, and like a lot of them. And that didn't help. That didn't help anything. But to keep things that don't need to be said unsaid, fucking hell. Don't try this at home. I lost my brother, and some of you may know him as Beard Man. And that was the way that my wife acted when that happened, along with not being able to go to the funeral. It fucked me up, and so I spent all my time getting fucked up. And even when I had a job, like I was a great employee, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't enough to pay the bills, and so I started selling, and it was alright. Like, no trouble came from that. But, I had my shit stolen. My $700 jacket, my $1,200 computer, bunch of other shit, my new shoes, my skateboard, my spare DadEXE. I got a new board now, so don't you worry. When maybe I think just under a month after my brother passed, I was living with my wife and her parents in their basement, and her family is like retarded level of Mormon. Like, gays shouldn't exist, and if her daughter wasn't one, they would speak their mind. Weed is no different from heroin type of belief, and so because I was smoking weed, that's not what I'm calling drugs, by the way. Weed is medicine, not a drug. When I was smoking weed and her daughter was smoking weed, they were kicking us out, which was good. I didn't want to live there anyway, but she didn't want to leave. But that's that's private problems. That's not for the update vlog, but that was the biggest problem. Ended up staying with some people who I met doing DoorDash. Smelled a little bit of weed in the house and wanted to make some friends. I'm like, hey, you know what she smoked with? Da 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 da. Ended up doing acid. Didn't plan on it. I didn't know it was going to be 12 hours either. That's a funny story. I'll tell that sometime. They picked us up. They let us stay there while we got into an apartment because it wasn't like we couldn't get into an apartment. It's just I was the only one who wanted to. While we were there, they were having relationship problems of their own because she was a little bit cuckoo and he was a little bit angry. And so I was in contact with my biological father at the time. And I just decided, well, they need space. I'm still hurting from losing my brother. Why don't I go visit my dad? So I got to meet him for the first time, and that was really nice. Saw my grandma, my stepmom, my biological father. Had a real great time. And while we were there, they tried to, the friends tried to surrender our dogs to a shelter, and because I'm assuming he got back on meth, and that's why he was flipping out. That was what she thought, his girl, and it looked like that's what was happening. My computer was there, my jack was there, so that's why the stream PC no longer exists. So my streams are now done from a PlayStation 4 that sounds like a fighter jet. But it works. Then fast forward, we get into the apartment. I'm paying all the bills. I asked the wife to pay rent just 1 month so I can replace some shit I lost. She doesn't. So we get evicted. And she said we could just go back in with her parents, and I didn't want to. And that was a hard rule for me. I'm not going backwards in life. I need to move forward. And she didn't want to move forward. Not to mention, the abuse was pretty bad. So, I'm home. Some of you may recognize these trees and that roof. I'm back home, where it all started. The first ever venture into full-time streaming. Back when I made horrible, just bottom of the barrel dick jokes and rape jokes, and that's not what the content's going to be anymore. So if that's what you're here for, don't stick around. Don't get me wrong, it's still going to be that on-brand silver. Well, not silver anymore. I got the name on the hat. It's encrypted. It's still going to be very on-brand, but it's not going to be in bad taste anymore. I'm going back to school. CDL, commercial driver's license, and heavy equipment. So I'm going to be the guy that makes the big machines go do big machine things. That'll be done in under a year. Stream when I can. Post when I can. But with all that that took place and the plans I have in place now, I'm gonna be scarce. I'll put on a couple 100 pounds and come out from behind a tree, and but I'll be retired by 35, and that's good. I wish I had more time for you guys. I wish I had more time for myself, but I just don't. You know, I have to grow up, and a lot of that is making hard decisions and doing hard things that sometimes aren't fun, and letting go of things that are fun, and accepting things that I can't change. But I'm okay. I'm completely clean, never felt better, never going back to Utah, to drugs, or to mommy DadEXE. Um, I just wish it didn't take so long for Dad to come back with the milk. But I'll see you on Twitch, man. Peace.